I tell the kids, I'm a salesperson for education. I say, I have to make you want it. I have to make you motivated to get what I'm giving you. So then that's why we're salespeople. And it's bad to say that some kids don't come to school wanting to learn. You have to kind of trick them into it, but you get them there. And the thing I can say, I had opportunity this summer to work in Ladue School District as a reading specialist, and there is an affluent school district in the county. They have some of the better test scores. So I had a chance to see different aspect and a different way of teaching and a different way of doing things. The only thing that was different was expectations. If they were here, you're going to meet it. And the thing that was remarkable to me, we have the voluntary DSEG, well, it used to be the voluntary DSEG program, but we have some school districts who are not accredited. So then they have an opportunity to go to the affluent school district. So this summer, a lot of the kids from Normandy and Riverview who mirrors my school district, they were there. And to see them interact and to see them transform, and I asked the counselor, I said, what are you doing? What is the difference? How are the same kids from my neighborhood coming out here and performing like this? She said, it's expectation. They have no choice. And so that's one thing that governed me as a teacher, and even as a principal. My expectations are here. Now I'm going to help you get there. I'm not going to try to hinder you. Sometimes some of the newer teachers, sometimes I would just, when they were teaching, I told them there are two types of teaching. There's teaching and there's co-teaching, and there are different levels of co-teaching. So sometimes I do parallel teaching. They may say something and I'll restate it a different way. And so they're used to me coming in and supporting them, and I had to build trust. So they trust that I'm doing it for their good. And sometimes I'll whisper things in their ear, say this, and then they'll get up and they'll say it. And then I say, you know what, you did a fantastic job. You have such a good teacher in here. And then their chest blows up and they start believing in themselves. So I had to teach them to believe in themselves too, because 6 of my teachers just graduated from college. One as late as August. And the one that I just hired, because sometimes in an urban school district, people quit. It's not what they think it is. I'm coming here to save these children. I'm coming here to work with these kids. You're going to sit down and I'm going to teach you, and you're going to get what I'm going to give you. You're not going to throw the chair down. You're not going to cuss me out. I'm going to teach. And when some of them reach those obstacles, they quit. So I had one quit on me. So I hired a student that just graduated in December. I was scared. I was praying, and I was going back and forth because I didn't know if I had made the right decision. I just knew I needed a warm body in there. And so she worked out. So I lucked up on somebody who came in. She was ready to learn. Every little tip, everything that I give her, she's on it. But then there are some who needs to be pushed on it. Just a little bit of guidance. And it's all, I'm fine. It's all of, you see the mental pause coming? But it's all according to the approach that you use. I don't like authoritative because I've had authoritative administrators before. So I try to be collaborative. If I have to become authoritative, it's behind closed doors.
Doherty was first there and then Derek.
Well, of course, we're blown away by your story, but what I was going to talk about was your level of expectations for the young people. I think that's like probably at the top, because it helps them reach something. So my question is about how do you create learning communities for the parents and learning communities for the teachers? I know a lot of the parents probably couldn't help their young people with the homework and so forth, and that creates another sense of aggression towards the teachers and then the teachers' reaction. So how did you create learning?
Jennings is one of the progressive districts in technology. So our students have iPads. We have classrooms with iPads. We have 3 quarts of classroom laptops. We have our curriculum predominantly digital, so parents can access the digital online. So we have that online for them. We have some parents who Not saying everything is perfect, but it's a work in progress. We have some who want to learn, and it's how you approach them. Our PTO is not well attended as it should be with a school that has 556 kids. You know, it's not well attended. So for parent-teachers conference to encourage the parents to come out, we had a spring dance. So after they went to see the parents, we had sandwiches in the gym, we had a DJ, and they were in there, but while they were in there, we were giving them things. Have you thought about this? Here's a volunteer form. Can you come and help us out? We need some tutorers. We're getting ready for the state testing. So that's helping to create and transform my school. Like I said, this is my first year at that school, and I think my past made me ready for this school because nothing I'm facing is a surprise. You know, I could write a chapter book on that.
Derek, your question.
Hello. What role do partners play for you in your school in kind of helping you change the culture in your building and move student achievement forward? And then kind of a follow-up question to that would be an organization like the YMCA, what role would you see us playing in supporting you in furthering the vision that you have for your school?
We always need tutors and mentors. I have a lot of young boys who don't have a male figure in their family. I have a lot of young ladies who are acting as adults, and when mama goes to work at night, they have the baby and the other children and they're responsible. So they're not living a kid life. They need an outlet. We just started cheerleading. One of our parents volunteered to start a basketball league, and he plays basketball, but he's also mentoring the students. As far as academic achievement, my goal is to help strengthen my teachers and empower them. And what I did with that is at the beginning of the year, I brought every grade level down, like for instance, third grade, and I taught a lesson. And while I was teaching a lesson to all the third graders, I was thinking aloud to the teachers, I'm doing this because da 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 da. I'm thinking out loud and I'm talking through the process because I want the kids to understand how I got the answer. It didn't jump out on the board. This is the process that you use. And I said, once you model how to think, and that's a lot of the issues, I'm trying to figure out how to politically say this. Sometimes,
Just say it.
sometimes African American families are more authoritative. So we tell you what to do. Just like I said, I wear what I want to wear because I'm grown. Sometimes we can be authoritative. So sometimes the kids need a whole lot of structure, and they're not used to thinking independently. So the thing which was my strength in the classroom was to teach the kids how to think independently without me. I would give them the paper. Sometimes we would work on something and they said, can we start? Didn't I give you the paper? Do you have a pencil? And so they would ask me different questions like that because they're used to being told when and how. Eye contact is not good sometimes with African Americans. Sometimes I have to tell my teachers that. They'll tell the kids, look me in the eye, and then the kid will drop their head and they'll keep saying, look me in the eye. I said, don't do that. I said, because culturally, kids are taught, if you look at me dead in my eye, then you're being disrespectful to me. You're challenging me. And so those are some cultural things that I'm teaching to help them do better. Some of my students have a lot of colloquialism. They, Miss So-and-so, I like your bling bling. What do you mean by bling bling? They just telling you they like your diamonds. They're telling you they like their clothing. So sometimes I have to teach them the slang so that they can know it's not an insult and include them in that the kids are complimenting you or the kids didn't know better. And honestly, some of them don't know better because no one taught them. And you thinking you come and assume when you come in the classroom or become an administrator, you assume that some kids have the basic skills necessary to come to school when they don't. They don't. You know, some kids it's going to take you to make a connection to get them to do what you want them to do.
What are your coping strategies in regards to your resiliency of, like you said, coming into the school, like you could kind of paint a picture of, exactly what you were going to be in for, and as you're telling the story, you're sharing with us that you're just taking these things head on, like, but you have to have hard times, like, or tough times or questioning. So what
I have
what
days.
do you do with your,
I have days sometimes when I cry. I've had a rough day. Some parents may cuss me out, and I have to smile, and I have to be politically correct. And some of the staff members may leave early or sneak an extra break and think I don't know. I don't like micromanaging. So there are some days when I cry. Gold's Gym is an outlet. California is an outlet. I just came back. I travel. I try to do things to recharge myself, but I believe so much in education. As the first day I graduated, I still believe in education. I still believe I can make a difference. I still believe that we can train up and we can grow some leaders. I sew. I took up sewing last summer. I do things that I like. Like today it was a rough day, so we're painting the glass to try to get our kids excited about the testing that's coming up. So I was helped painting glass, and they said, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "It relaxes me," and I said, "It takes my mind off what just transpired." So I do have outlets. I love music. I love to sing. If I had a husband, that would help too. But I do, and I have a granddaughter now, and so when I come home, she's waiting for me, bouncing, and I can't wait to see her. So that's how I recharge, and I think about her. What kind of education do I want for her to have? So I'm trying to build that platform for it.
Darren, and then we'll take one more.
Ms. Vanessa, can you share with us a day in the life of one of your students? And
You want the...
don't spare us the...
Okay.
Yeah.
I have... I'm trying to get it right. As a child, I was molested by a family member. It seems as though, like I said, my past helped shape me for this time. A sixth grader who was tactile defensive. Somebody bumped her in line. Bam, you on the floor, and she just blinks out and fight. I didn't know what was going on. I pulled the girl in the office, and she told me her mother's boyfriend had raped her, and that she was getting counseling. Children's Defense Fund had started coming up, and they were working with her. She got raped in March. December, Children's Defense Fund stopped counseling. So she's back tactile defensive. So I have to keep an eye on her, and I have to let her know, I see you, I feel you, I know what you're going through. And I told her, I said, right now you feel hopeless, you may get angry. I said, but can you look at me and tell that that happened to me too? And she said, no, and she started crying. I said, if I can make it, I said, I know it hurts, but if I can make it, you can too. And I said, and when you get older, nobody's gonna be able to tell it either, unless you share your story. I have too many girls in that predicament, and that bothers me, in sixth grade.
Dennis, last question.
Just the whole Ferguson thing. I mean, talk about, these are your children's aunts and uncles and, mothers that, are kind of looking at that situation. And, we talked to, Dr. Tate talked to us here from the university, and, just that, that's, can you describe a little bit about, that it only takes that spark, but what is it that is fueling this?
It's anger. St. Louis is a racist city. for instance, when all of this started, I'm leaving work. The cop pulled me over, and he said, your light is out. I said, okay. And he said, put your hand on the steering wheel. I said, put my hand on the steering wheel. I said, I'm just leaving work. Here's my bag. Put your hand on the steering wheel, ma'am. And he pulled his gun. I'm like, oh, hell no. So I just put my hand on the wheel, and I just sat there, and I really wanted to cry. I really wanted to shout. And then when he saw my ID, and he said, oh, you did just come from school. I said, yes, sir. I was driving a Cadillac then. I've since gotten rid of the Cadillac. I drive a Toyota. But I did that, the Cadillac thing, because of my kids, because they were thinking, she's driving a Cadillac, she got money, she dressed good, she got money, and all of that. But I just wanted to paint a more realistic picture for them. The tensions are high. We went, Jennings again is progressive. Our superintendent suggested that we go help clean up. We called it Ground Zero. So we're out cleaning up trash bags, picking up trash, while the National Guards are out on a parking lot. So after my hour was up, I go back to my car. They had tape around it, and I said, I was pulled the tape. He said, ma'am, you can't go around here. I said, I'm parked right over there. Can I just go to my car? And so I started laughing. He said, ma'am, you can't go over there. He went, click. I said, yes, sir. And I turned around and walked. So it can be scary. I know my limitations. I make sure that I stay abreast, because like I said, I was at work and all of this was going on, and I was oblivious to it because my focus was my school, and I didn't know all this devastation was going on around me. The kids talk